Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio.
Welcome to another episode of Mental Wealthness, Black Fly on the Wall show. Here with a very special guest, very popular person. Y'all can't tell already. It's my girl, Farrah. Farrah, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, I am Farrah Morgan. I am the creative officer for my 20-year-old company, Brand Jane Studio. I've been brand strategy, public relations, marketing for over 20 plus years. So we won't tell my age, but but I'm okay to do that too. But that's usually, and I have held myself to now walk into philanthropy with what I do. So very excited about what's happening in my life.
Absolutely. Hey, and thank you for being here with me. We don't take it lightly. It's much love and gratitude for taking time out of your schedule to be here. With the multiple conversations that me and you have had, I feel like the title of this episode of Becoming Me is very, very synergistic with what you have gone through over the last few years, your trials, your tribulations, your progress, your achievements, and just the big things that you're doing out here in the world, right? And I think you are definitely a person that people look at, I'm inspired by her. I want to be like her when I grow up, And that's a good thing because I'm pretty sure your 18-year-old or your 20-something-year-old self, you wanted to strive to just be an amazing human being. And I think that you're doing well at that. But even in the same breath of that, we're all becoming who we are on a daily basis. Because the essence and the synergy of the I am means that we're always in the present moment. So we can't let our past kind of be what defines us and what we continuously hold on to. We can't work ourselves up into anxiety to worry about the future, right? We always have to focus on the moment. And that's why I love the word becoming, because that's a constant process. Every breath that you take, every moment, every minute, every hour, you're always becoming somebody new. And I think becoming me or becoming who you are is a choice. And you consistently make those choices with every moment that you are. So whenever I mention the word becoming, how does that resonate with you? Based on what you've experienced over the last few years, when you hear the word becoming me, what did that make you feel like? And what are the emotions that you experience?
So loaded, right?
Right.
Well, I'm a single mom. I recently lost my mom, and I'm an only child. And I have 3 amazing humans, Madison, Max, and Chloe. And I recognize in myself that one of the defining factors that I tell my children every day is that we're always becoming. I'm your vessel. God destined me to be the vessel for you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to dictate who you become. I want you to become, and I want to be a part of that. And when I say that, I want to be a part of the becoming, meaning that I have to still have space to learn and grow alongside of them. No matter their emotional maturity, I know that there's provision that I have to make to be not just their mother, but their support and their guide. I think as building my career, I, put so much investment in trying to be the best. And sometimes you're competing with yourself. You're competing with the outside forces, the world, the people in your industry. And I realized that becoming a part of industry wasn't who really I could ever really become, because there's a marker to that, right?
Right.
And outside of that, I wanted to really express, I was okay with being misunderstood. I was okay with people not recognizing my strengths You may be telling me about my weaknesses. I looked at my weaknesses as strengths, as builders, as my really my bricks to lay. Because those are spaces that I can open myself up to learn and to grow. And that is a space I always want to be. So that's becoming for me. I don't want to ever feel like I know everything. You can have a space of intelligence that you have. You can have the network and the authority to make decisions when you know you can do it. But also, I wanted to also be somewhat like childlike, faith, having the yearning to discover again. So as I age, as a mother, as a friend, as a daughter, I realized that I just want to keep my heart open, surrender the things that I think that I'm good at, because there's always going to be somebody more talented,
for sure,
smarter, more beautiful, more in tune, and I don't want to ever be stuck. So my discipline is just to try to find ways to be in a space of empathy and humility. And as an only child, sometimes you don't learn that because everything is given to you, is provided for you, and you are the attention. Everybody gives you everything. And I rebelled against that early in life. And my parents knew what to feed me, as far as education experiences through travel, through just, telling me, if your chores aren't done, you're not going nowhere.
Structure,
discipline has really helped me to, every time I feel like when people say fail, I always look at, I didn't fail. It just was an opportunity for me to learn again and to grow and to strengthen myself for the next challenge. Because life is about challenges. If we look at everything in trial, tribulations, we become despondent and apathetic. And I always rebelled against being apathetic. I wanted to find a space for myself to always find my own personal voice, even if people didn't agree with me. And I think that takes courage.
And I like the fact that you found, through the void, you found that as an opportunity to create. And through creativity, that's where you go through the process of learning the most about yourself and applying that and just taking that through your journey of becoming who you are. Like, I feel like who we define ourselves as is a constant changing definition because we can't come up with a structured definition of who we are with also being open to the becoming part of it, right? That means that, like, whenever you had you were different. Even as a mother, there were different levels to who you were as a mom. Like, you were different from your first child. From the first moment you had your first child to your second child, you were a different person. And from the second to the third, I'm sure you were a different person. So you are constantly in this cycle of evolution. And as animals evolve and as plants evolve, us as humans, we evolve as well. And I think it's important for us to recognize that evolution as a human being and give yourself grace and empathy with that, right? Yeah, your eyesight vision may not be the same. Your hearing may not be the same. The skin may not be as tight, but you always have to show gratitude and self-love for yourself that you are here. You're going through this motion of making the world a better place through your small acts of kindness. What would you say one of your biggest success, your biggest achievements are to this date, outside of being a mom?
Discovering me again.
Okay.
Outside of being a mom, outside of being a business owner, outside of being a daughter, outside of being someone's friend. When you discover, I want to know who I am, not at my age, but how I am growing in the spaces of life we are in today. That's tough at times. Throughout my life, friends would say, "You're so confident." And I think I took pride in that. to a place where it became self-consuming, where I was like, yeah, right. And then I went through things in life that reminded me you got to be okay with where you are. And I don't think a lot of people, especially women of color, we want to, we always have to fight to prove something. What I wanted to prove to myself was that I was okay with just being by myself. I didn't need a warm body next to me. I didn't need to call someone for advice. I could go internal and sort before I asked for help, if I needed it or if I desired it. And most times I desired it because I knew that I was always wanting to be of help for other people. I figured, probably my 30s, right? I think when I turned 30, I remember the day I turned 30, I literally was on the couch crying. Like, I'm 30, oh my God. I was literally like, I'm no longer in my 20s. But then now at 46, here I go, tell my age. Mm-hmm. I celebrate where I'm at because I enjoy the process of the years that God, every day that he breathes back into my lungs and that my heart beats and I'm still passionate about the things that I can still discover in life. Mm-hmm. And it's like self-motivation. Mm-hmm. I don't need to depend on another human or a person to fill that void for me.
You're intrinsically motivated. Mm-hmm. Intrinsically motivated. Hey, looking for your dream home in Raleigh, North Carolina? Look no further than Duncan Prime Realty. Brandon Duncan is an experienced real estate professional and is dedicated to helping you find the perfect home for your needs and lifestyle. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or looking to upgrade, Duncan Prime Realty has the expertise to guide you through the process from start to finish. From charming bungalows to modern luxury homes, Duncan Prime Realty has a wide range of properties to suit every taste and budget. So why wait? Contact Duncan Prime Realty today and let him help you find your dream home in Raleigh, North Carolina and other surrounding cities. Contact Brandon at 919-808-2001 and Brandon at DuncanPrimeRealty.com. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have a lot of people watching, listening to this. Like, she 46. That's the new 46. They think you're drinking from some fountain of youth. They want to know where the plug is at. They definitely want to know where the plug is. No, I think what you're doing, your perspective and your ability to see within is what's allowing you to go through this journey of becoming you, even through trials and tribulations, right? Like you mentioned that you lost your mother. Talk to us about just the emotions that you've learned about how you now redefine yourself as a daughter. Because like we go through these processes of losing, like I had to redefine myself as a nephew. I had to redefine myself as a grandson after I lost some of the patriarchs of my family, right? And so how do you redefine yourself as a daughter?
I first define myself as God's child. And that he blessed me for 45 years with a woman that he knew that could empower, support, and guide me through this thing we call life. I wasn't able to see the strength of who my mother was until she took her last breaths. My mother is someone who endearingly strong, supportive, definitely a matriarch for my family, and a partner, best friend, and the love of my life of my father, And, as an only child, I was blessed with having two parents who unconditionally loved me. And I had to learn what unconditional love look like, right? You know, when you're looking at it from the human aspect, it's not what we see, but thank you. Unconditional love for me, God doesn't ever remove his love. So that's what I saw when I saw my father caring for my mother when she was sick.
Admirable, right?
Just like they met on their first date.
Yeah, that's what strength is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He would continuously tell me stories about how beautiful he still saw her in the light of not her illness.
Mm-hmm.
And he reminded me every day that your mother and I will fight to the ends of the earth to see you become who you need to be. Mm-hmm. They sacrificed careers. They sacrificed opportunities to be at ballet recitals, to buy me a violin, to give me the best point shoes, to make sure that I had a passport to travel. And when you're an adult, you know, you're like, we're trying to strive to do these things.
Right. You like,
as a child, you know, you're like, oh, this is just my life.
Right.
But they worked together in partnership. Mm-hmm. They showed what Black love looked like in every way. Many of their arguments were about my welfare, my well-being, and how they saw my future.
If you're going to argue about something, that's something to argue about.
And it taught me, like, making arguments now. I don't like confronting people. But when I do now, it's a yes or no. Yes, I want this in my life, or no, I do not want this in my life. And it's okay to set boundaries, and that's what they showed me. They set boundaries to employ me to be the best person I could become. And you don't see that when you're a young person.
Right.
You know,
you're not able to really peel back the layers and understand what's going on. Right?
No. And I employ anyone who has a parent, no matter what the relationship is, call your parent. You may be the strength of what they didn't know. Mm-hmm. My mother didn't understand me becoming an entrepreneur because she was in corporate America as an executive, and she saw who I was, but she only saw it from the lens that she was used to.
So you becoming who you are even provided your mom with a new perspective of, wow, mm-hmm. I know what this entrepreneur thing is, and my daughter is doing that. Mm-hmm. And she go from not understanding to bragging.
Bragging, but also in her last breaths telling me, you're going to be okay. Because I did all I could to put in you, and you're still here. And
how did that experience that you've experienced, mm-hmm. Your mom transitioning, mm-hmm. what impact did that have on you as a mother? What new perspective did you gain?
You know, when people say, set your priorities, make that to-do list, set your goals. My goals are now to see my children be the better version of myself, but what I feel like God has for them. I want them to be who they need to become. So I put every emotional, spiritual investment I can in them. If it means that I need to take off no projects, less work, show up for them. Because there were so many moments where I was building my career where I felt like I neglected the time with them. Because as a single parent, I need to do this, I got to do this, I got to buy this, I got to,
Right.
And I finally said, you know what? Sometimes what we covet, what we're used to, having that protective layer of two parents who can help you through those trials and tribulations, when it's removed, you have to learn to build again.
Right.
So I'm actually discovering a new part of my mothering than I ever thought I would.
You're becoming.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're becoming a mother. It's not like a destination, right? It's like you have your beautiful 3 children, and you're still becoming a mother while already having children. Mm-hmm. And I think like even becoming a mother is essential for us to understand like the power of now, like the power of waking up. And then when we open our eyes, we immediately go into that mode of gratitude, just being thankful for what we have, thankful for what is to come, thankful for the small things, the big things. Like I did a meditation this morning. It was thankful for things related to my eyesight, my ability to hear, my ability to taste, to smell, to walk, to talk. It's people in this world who do not have the ability to do those things that are living. They lost the ability to taste. They lost the ability to see. They lost the ability to hear, to walk, to touch, to feel. I even think I'm so thankful, so deep into my gratitude that I'm thankful for my ability to feel. Because certain mental diagnosis allows you to lose your ability to feel love. Right? So like I just love the feeling of being able to feel love, to be able to go through that process of feeling those emotions. And I feel like, you know, even as a man, you're constantly becoming who you are as a man. No matter what the things that you've learned in your younger years that may not be as positive for you now, even as men, you're becoming. And it's essential for you to stay in that moment of your journey, celebrate your journey, be happy with your journey, celebrate the wins, analyze the losses. But you always have to be able to look at things from a certain perspective and introspective of how is this particular thing that I'm experiencing right now, whether positive or negative, benefiting me in the moment.
There's a sense of vulnerability that I was never able to acclaim because I was so focused on being the best, doing what I was doing for work, you know, trying to prove I can be, you know, the best entrepreneur, the best daughter, the best friend, this person. And you start spreading yourself so thin that you lose yourself. And, you know, the last moments with my mother was very telling because I had to hold my dad's hand, walking her to her last day, her last moment. My children were walking behind me. And my youngest daughter was the one who kissed my mom on her forehead and said, "We got this." And what it showed me is a legacy of strength. And it empowered something in me at that moment to say, you got to keep going.
There's an old African proverb that says that when the elder of a family transitions, they actually choose who they want to pass their strength to. Sometimes that's a grandchild, sometimes that's a daughter or a son, but it's almost like a passing of the crown, right? Like they're knighting you to now continue the race on this particular plane that we're on, right? We're unsure of what is to come, but what we do know is that we have the ability to experience this reality in this life that we're in right now through our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and how we have to be good stewards of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that we can continue to generate positive DNA so that it continues to pass down to our children and our grandchildren. And I think as we wrap this up, that's every time I've talked to you about, and we talk about your mom, that's the story that I get. It's like an old parable, right? Of how we have this amazing woman that did amazing things, that passed down amazing legacy. And even with you saying that your youngest daughter had the intrinsic motivation and the strength to even say those things in that moment to her grandmother shows you that this thing that we call life is forever evolving, and we're continuing to learn about who we are as spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's what I truly believe. I believe that the soul has been created, and we're continuing to go through these life cycles of planting these positive seeds in the universe and having these amazing, wonderful things that's happening. Think of it. I have some patients that have 5 kids and no grandchildren, but you were able to give your mother 3 beautiful grandchildren And that was a pinnacle and a highlight of her life. So you can always take that with you and say, she was able to really, truly experience her through you. And then you will continue to experience her through you. And you continue to see your legacy of that. And so becoming is all about understanding who we are, where we're going, where we've been, and how all three of those things are a sum of where we are now. And we must continue to stay on the path of the journey, continue with the high vibrations, to positivity, continue to grieve, continue to heal, continue to love, continue to just be.
Yeah.
And we never know where we are in that stage of the journey, right?
No, we don't.
And we just have to just be. And just be good stewards of the things that we can control and the things that we do digest. But yeah, I think, overall, the thing is an amazing conversation. Like even as we talk, the things, every time we talk, I learn something new. And it's not even about things that are what I can deploy right now.
Yeah.
It's just me taking in things in my bank. Mm-hmm. And as I go through my own journey as a man, these are things that I'm going to move here. These are things that are going to be here. Mm-hmm. This is how I can be softer. This is how I can appreciate people and the transitions and the journey of life. Mm-hmm. So becoming me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Much
I
love.
really appreciate it.
Much
Always. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio. I am